All right, guys, this is Krazy Kev here. I'm here with my man, Colton Herrera. Colton, how we doing, my man?
Doing great here and just waking up this morning and ready to get this interview going. And I'm excited to be on. Thank you.
Yeah.
I got my breakfast right here, so
Love
it'll be good.
Nice. So, Colton, man, I mean, you got a big fight coming up. I mean, talk to us a little bit more about this matchup here.
You know, like I said, March 22nd, Melee Combat Championships. I'll be fighting back here in my hometown of San Antonio. And the time frame, I think it's been about 5 to 6 years. So I'm really, really excited to be fighting back here in my hometown. And I got a large crowd showing up and everyone in support, whether they're tuning in on any of the streaming services or going to be there in the audience. So, and I've been looking for a fight for a few months, and this opportunity just kind of fell on my lap when my coach, Chris Herrera, reached out to the matchmaker for Melee. And like I said, within 24 hours, we got a matchup, and I thought it was a favorable matchup. We watched the film, and said, yes, sir, let's do it.
Nice. Now, obviously, like you mentioned, it's been a long time since we've seen you compete. Can you talk to us a little bit about that long layoff? Why has it been so long since we've seen you fight in the cage?
Yes, so it's been 3 years since my last fight. That was in the Valley for Fury, but as basically it was just the stars aligning, and it's not like, oh, I haven't been training, I'm off the couch. I've never stopped training. That is pretty much, MMA is purely my hobby, so I'm training 5 to 6 times a week. And it's just, I took kind of a back seat, more of a front seat, if you could say. I was coaching and then teaching defensive tactics for law enforcement. So that was my I kind of got towards this passion of teaching and coaching. So I was also coaching a lot of the fighters at our gym as well. And that was just purely just taking over a lot of responsibilities, but always training and like I said, there's nothing wrong with being a little honest as far as, oh, hey, like I'm feeling good, and then some injuries take place, and then you're started training again, because if you train nonstop, you're gonna have some lingering injuries and things like that, but nothing serious that's gonna deter me from ever competing again. So when this matchup came to play, I feel like it's perfect timing, and I've wanted to compete here in San Antonio for a long time. So that's the biggest one. I'll just keep writing. But a lot of people say, oh yeah, I'm in fight camp, and then they start training. It's been 3 years I haven't stopped training, and actually 2 years ago I took up catch wrestling. I have a gym here in San Antonio, Coach Val Childs, and he's one of the only coaches for North American catch wrestling, and I've been training that for 2 years, and it's excelled my game as far as grappling and wrestling specifically.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely glad you've been able to improve your game, and like you said, that's definitely pretty cool as well. You've been doing a little bit of teaching yourself, and now with that being said as well too, I mean, you've been talking about training a lot. Talk to us a bit more about your training camp. I mean, what are you kind of doing in the gym to get prepared, and who's maybe some training partners that are helping you out for this upcoming fight here?
Yes, sir. So it was probably the day of, say, mid-February, but that was when I was in talks with some other promotions, and we got this one. And once we said yes, not like I haven't been trained, so it was like, hey, let's run it, 5-week hard camp, and we're going to be prepared in 5 weeks. Because once again, it's not something like I'm coming off the couch. So we were able to just get the fight camp together. I got a lot of great guys here in town that helped me out. So like I said, my head coach, Coach Herrera, was like, let's do it, 5-week camp. And we're gonna run with this. So we got middleweight Joe Cerna, who fights for Peak, and he fought for Peak, and he's a good training partner of mine. He's been helpful a lot. We have another guy, Mike, and he's been a great heavyweight, really legit at jiu-jitsu, so he's been a helpful as well. And then Fury FC middleweight, Zach Borrego has been a really a lot of help for this training camp. And then as well as plug him, we do have a UFC vet here in town, Daniel Jolly, that's been a lot of help coming up this camp. So I got a good group stable of guys.
Nice. No, I'm definitely glad you have a lot of good people helping you out for this upcoming fight. And now with this upcoming fight as well, too, I mean, this one's going to be at heavyweight. You've competed before at 205 pounds. What's that kind of like, competing at heavyweight for this upcoming fight here?
Yeah, that's just getting it. I feel like it's not foreign to me at all. So because believe it or not, my last fight was supposed to be at 205 pounds. I came in at 206 pounds. Of course, I took that 1 pound allowance, and my opponent had came in at 235 pounds. So there was a miscommunication somehow about which weight it was going to be at. So I ended up just fighting at heavyweight. So that my last fight was heavyweight too. My first amateur fight was at heavyweight, and we had some catch weights in between and another heavyweight matchup. So I don't mind filling that gap from heavyweight to heavyweight, whether it's catch weight or light heavyweight. So I would be prepared for that. So this fight will be at heavyweight, and I do believe we'll start tapering down and get ready for another light heavyweight matchup after this. That's what I would want to get back down there.
Nice. No, that definitely makes a lot of sense for sure, and I'm glad you're able to compete at heavyweight for this fight. And now another thing I want to talk about as well too. I mean, you mentioned earlier you were watching a little bit of film. You thought it's a favorable matchup for you. What's maybe your prediction for this fight? How do you kind of see yourself winning this fight here?
Well, it's always a funny thing when my coaches will watch film on anybody, and they'll say, "Oh, Colton, your ground game is so much better. Just take him to the ground, cook him, get on the cage, cook him, take him to the ground, and finish him there." But all my fights have not been finished on the ground, but it's starting from the feet when I let go of my hands, and then they end up falling to the ground or not even getting a takedown. So usually they'll end up getting finished on the feet. All my wins of our first round finished KO or TKO. So there's a very strong possibility that will happen again.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a pretty good prediction, and I'm definitely looking forward to this fight. And now speaking about your opponent, when I saw the poster get announced, I thought it was kind of funny because when I was at UFC 302 in Newark, when you go to the weigh-ins there, there's no like assigned seats. So me and my buddy went there, right? And I sat in my seat, and I went to go up and get a drink. And when I went up to get a drink, this guy actually ended up sitting in my seat, and then he started arguing with my friend, and they were going back and forth, and like he was like, "Yo, like this is my boy's seat, like don't take a seat, blah blah blah," and they were going back and forth. And then long story short, I got back to my seat. We ended up actually finding the guy on Instagram, and sure enough, it's actually your opponent that you're fighting. So it's just crazy to me, like how the world's kind of like work out, where it's like, wow, like this guy is like a fighter now, and like he's fighting you, and like it's just like crazy how like life kind of works out sometimes.
That is pretty wild, actually. Yeah. And then the fact that y'all found him on Instagram too, very interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, like he trains at I believe like somewhere in Florida and everything like that. So I believe like we just kind of saw him in the background when you were like, "Yo, like that's the guy that like was arguing with you and everything." So like, yeah, it's just crazy, small world for sure.
It's definitely the fight world is the smallest world, I would say. Everybody knows everybody, whether they could be in different states or anything like that. So definitely a small world.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. I definitely would agree there. And now another thing I want to ask you about as well, too. I mean, obviously, you're obviously pretty focused with your fight camp and everything. But I mean, what do you kind of like to do outside the cage when you're not in there training and fighting?
Yeah, big one is I would say me and my girlfriend are self-proclaimed cinephiles. So we love going to the movies. I feel like that's kind of a thing of the past, but I think it's coming back. I know during COVID times, the streaming services got so big and everyone's like, "Oh, I just watch the movies at home." But I just think it takes away the experience of actually going to the cinema, getting some popcorn, getting some food, and watching a great movie. And hey, I get on the Fandango app and I look at what movies are out that week, because it could be a hit or miss. Sometimes we'll watch the next you know, Oscar nominee, or it could be a fluke like Arn Lung. So I'm gonna plug Arn Lung as not being that great of a movie, but that's a big one. And I like going hiking. We also like going hiking around here. Any place outside 30 to 45 minutes of San Antonio, you're gonna get some great hiking spots. And a big one is supporting any live music shows here, local music. I really like live music, whether it's EDM or hard rock, metal. Those are big genres of mine. So I like watching live music here in town.
Nice.
And like I said, just going to, like I said, big one I unplug it is people forget is Facebook events. Because everyone says there's nothing to do here in San Antonio, but if you go to Facebook events, you can find plenty of things. You can find a random art class or something going on at the museum, and just a lot of activities that you can do.
Yeah. No, I definitely think that's a pretty smart plug there with the Facebook events as well too. I definitely think that's pretty underrated as well. I found a couple like MMA seminars and stuff on there, so like I definitely know what you're talking about as well. So another thing I wanted to get back into as well too. You mentioned with your next fight, you're hoping to maybe get back down to 205. How active are you kind of looking to be in 2026? How many fights are you maybe looking to have this year?
You know what? That fire has definitely been burning again, and I feel with a dub coming up after this one, we're gonna make a little bit of a run here, and I feel I can get one or two more in this year.
Nice. So I definitely think one or two more definitely is kind of realistic. And now when it comes to that as well too, I mean, what are maybe some of your goals that you might have with MMA right now in your career?
Right now, I feel like I take it step by step, because throughout the years, obviously bringing up the COVID times and losing those 2 years, and then even prior to that was just, to being honest, was frustration about canceled fights. And that's a big one for me. So I had a lot of pullouts. I had a lot of just mishaps that didn't happen with fights coming up and people saying yes and saying no. So it's a lot of frustration going forward with that. So it's if the stars align, then that's what I want. So I take each fight as an event. That's the next, and we're slowly focusing on that one. So that's the next step. Hey, boom, we're here. Let's get ready for the next one and stay ready. So that's going to be the biggest one for me. Is, like I said, always training, but let's dial up these camps a little bit more and stay active. So hey, I am able to, if I feel ready to take those fights on, whether it could be another 5-week, 4-week, 2-week notice, anything along those lines.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's realistic, and that makes a lot of sense for sure. And now, when it comes to your career, I mean, how long do you think it could potentially take to maybe make it to like the UFC or another big promotion like that in the future?
You know what? The lay of the land in the UFC heavyweight division is looking pretty shallow. So I think if we make a run here, there's very much possibility that could happen. I'm going to be honest. I didn't think it would ever happen, but as I've gotten 32 now, I've seen them signing close to those age or even over those ages now in the Contender Series and such. So whether it be the heavyweight division or light heavyweight division, they need bigger bodies in those divisions. If they're shallow or people getting cut and things like that. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think it was, but now it could look like definitely a possibility.
Yeah, and now, like you mentioned, with the heavyweight being a little bit like slimmer and everything like that, I mean, are you kind of open to like maybe like bouncing around, like maybe some fights 205, some fights heavyweight, so then you kind of could get that call a little bit faster or something like that?
Absolutely. Whether it be I stay heavyweight and I just get even bigger and just get jacked up, that could happen too. Or I end up getting a good solid frame for 205, which I do feel the most comfortable at.
Nice. Now, when it comes to like 205, I mean, is the weight cut hard for you? I mean, is it a big cut or anything like that?
No, it's not a big cut. If I'm sitting around 230, we can get down to that 205, 206 very, very easily.
Yeah, no, that definitely doesn't sound too bad. No, that definitely makes a lot of sense. I definitely think heavyweight could, potentially be your future if you're looking at the UFC. And yeah, man, Colton, it's been
Appreciate that.
awesome talking to you. I really appreciate you taking the time. What's maybe your final message out there to the fans watching this video?
Yes, absolutely. Let's Melee Combat Championships March 22nd. We're gonna get after it, and you're gonna see something. And I'm ready to represent San Antonio.
Yes, sir. And
We
Colton, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, man. It's been awesome talking to you. I'm definitely looking forward to making your return. And again, man, thank you so much for taking the time, especially during your fight camp here.
Hey, thank you, Kev. It was really nice to meet you. I'm glad to be on, and I appreciate it. Thank you.